All right, in this video, we are going to go into detail on how to use ASSISTments and integrate it with your Google Classroom. So let's get started. ASSISTments is really a really cool tool. Just a couple of words about it. It's a web-based tool. It directly connects with your Eureka Math, although it does a variety of other software curriculum as well. Typically, you would use it with your assignments or your classwork, but it really works well with distance learning. It does require that you use Google Classroom or Canvas or eLearn, but right now, for my video, I'm going to really focus on just Google Classroom. And then what it does is it provides students and teachers with a variety of really powerful feedback on a per problem basis, a per assignment basis, from a teacher's point of view, a per student basis, and really as a whole class. It's just really powerful. And the coolest thing is it's always going to be free. So let's just dig into this. I'm going to do some slide work, and then I'm going to show you real live work, and we're going to go back and forth. So right now, here's the slides. So you think about ASSISTments, and there's really 4 components. You create your assignments, you assist students, it assists students with immediate feedback. Then there's some assessment, and we can analyze that data. And then lastly, we can really talk about students get to look at their work together. All right, so there's the 4 main points that I'm going to go through. So first, let's dig into this creating an assignment, and then we'll go into each of those 4 things. But we're going to start with creating an assignment. So how do we do that? Well, you log in. You don't click the sign up, you click the login. When you click the login, of course, you're probably going to choose Google Classroom because that's what we're using right now. And then once you've identified your content, now you'll notice all the different curricula that is works nicely with ASSISTments. Of course, we're going to click on that Eureka Math because that's what this video is about. Once you've identified your assignment, you just assign to Google Classroom. And so now let's walk into this live. Let's see what this looks like live. So I need to make sure I do all of these things. Log in as a teacher, explore the content, find a lesson, all that sort of stuff, and then assign it. All right, so let's do that. So I've got my demo class where I am the teacher, and I'm going to go to ASSISTments. I'm going to click Login. And of course, I'm going to click Google. And let's do 4th grade, module 3, lesson 1. All right. So now I've identified the assignment. Here it is. And boy, there's a lot of questions. A lot of questions. And right now I am happening to see that all of these assignments are looking for a straight answer, which means all of these will be automatically scored by the computer. The teacher doesn't have to do anything in terms of grading. So I'm gonna choose this one. This happens to, did you see what I did? I closed the tab. I went back to grade 4, module 3, and I clicked on problem set lesson 2. And because really what I'm doing is I'm looking for an example of where the students are going to have to upload some sort of image. And that's what this is going to look like. It's got a little icon there. Now this icon is the older icon that no longer matches their text editor that the students are going to click on. But anyway, now the teacher could just click this button way up at the top and say, let's select all the problems. And now they're all checked off. And then click Assign to Google Classroom. Or I'm going to be a little bit humane here. I'm only going to assign this problem 1, and let's do problem 2. All right, for right now. You as a teacher would be a little bit more thoughtful about what you're assigning. And once I've identified the problems I want to assign, I just click Assign to Google Classroom. It pulls up this beautiful window right here where I select the class that I want it to go to. I can assign to multiple classes if I want, but right now I'm just going to click Dwayne's demo class. If it doesn't show up, you're going to click import. Sometimes you have to press the synchronize. I'm never entirely sure the difference between these two, so I just kind of click them both until the class I want to show up does. And then I click next. Put a due date if I want, or a release date or a due date if I wish. Up here, I can rename it. So I like the fact that it's telling me just problems 1 and 2, but I don't need all of this. So let's just say demo lesson 2, and I'm going to delete the standards for right now. And let's just do listed as problems 1 and 2. All right, so there you go. You can rename it anything you want. You can always rename it later if you kind of regret the name you chose at the first place. I'm going to click assign, and it's thinking. And now I can immediately click view, and what it's going to do is it's going to open up my demo class already, which I already have available. So I'm going to close that and kind of refresh my screen in case that matters. And I can go to my classwork, and there it is, demo lesson 2. I can see when it's posted. Now, if I wish, I can click the 3 dots and I can further edit this assignment. I can give more instructions here. All right. What's really powerful is I can add a link to a YouTube video. So let's pretend this was on area and perimeter. I can search for area and perimeter. Oopsies, I'll type that in. Area and perimeter. I can find a great video that I like, click add. Or if I knew the direct link to the YouTube video, I could have pasted it there. Or I could go to YouTube and do this and paste the URL to the video here. So there's a whole variety of ways to help support your students with these problems. I can edit the number of points if I wish. And most importantly, I'm going to make sure I put it in my math section right here. All right. Click save. Are you sure you want to update? Yes, I want to update. And there it is. It's showing up in my math section. I have these other 2 pretend sections. Let's say one is for ELA, one is for history. But there is the assignment. Let's make sure I've done everything I was supposed to. Log in, explore, find a lesson, select the problems, assign it to Google, show it in the Google Classroom, and then I can edit stuff. So that is perfect. I just did that set. Right. Woohoo! So, okay, so I'm going to let's get back into my presentation mode. All right. By the way, at any point, if you want to pause, you are so welcome to pause and rewind because I'm trying to just go fast here. All right. So now that we have created the assignment, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at it from a student point of view and see how ASSISTments helps students provide with the immediate feedback on each problem. So what the student is going to see in the classroom is the student is going to click into the Google Classroom, and then they're going to click on that second link there, right? Where with the little A next to it for ASSISTments, all right? And then as the student is working on this, the student will only see one problem as they go. This whole process is called the student tutor. It's the assignment, right? They call it the tutor because it provides immediate feedback for the students. These logos, these icons over here tell me as the teacher, also tell the student how they did on these previous problems. And it also gives immediate feedback as to whether the student got it right or not. And then it will not allow the student to go to the next problem until they've got that problem correct. Now, what does that mean? What if the student doesn't know how to solve the problem? Well, that's pretty straightforward because over here, first they get a variety of tries, and this scale will go down the more times they're wrong. And eventually, if the student full-on just gives up, the student can just click show answer, and it will give the student the answer that they need to type in order to move forward. And that's indicated by this yellow. Anything that's yellow in the feedback indicates to the teacher and the student that the student needed to press this answer button in order to move forward. Their status as they work, they get to see all of the stuff that's going on. The check marks, green means they got it right, but this X means they got it wrong their first try, but eventually they got it correct. These solid blues mean it's a problem that the student is waiting. It's like an open-ended question, and we're waiting for the teacher to grade. The red means it was wrong. The fact that it was yellow means the student needed to press that show answer button. And oops, I'm going to go back because, oops, there we go. That green check mark means that classic, yep, you got it right. Now, each time the student gets it wrong, the scale is going to go down by 1/3. So really the student gets 3 tries in order to earn that green X. Anything green we're happy with. We're not going to worry about whether it's a check or an X. If it's green, it's good. All right. And then of course, remember that yellow means they had to show the answer in order to move forward. All right, and so that's apparently I had arrows. I forgot I was going to have arrows. All right, so there you go. If you need to pause to connect the words to the arrows, and go ahead and pause this video. All right, so now the students are going to receive immediate feedback on a per problem basis. Either they got it right on their first try, that says 100% and they move on, or they got it try after 2 or 3 tries, in which case the scale goes down each time. You're not really going to use these percentages for a grade. We really don't care. It's a kind of a bummer that they're here. This is just helping the student see how many tries before running out of attempts in order to get credit, or like the green X. And then of course, if the student just does not know the answer, they click show the answer and they see the answer, they type it in, and then they see the answer, then they type it in, and that's what allows them the next problem button. All right, so let's do this. Let's go in and take a look at what this looks like directly as a student. So I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to pull up my student page, and I'm going to kind of shrink the teacher page down a little bit. And okay, so just as a reminder, here's what the teacher saw on the teacher's side, and this is what the student is seeing on the student side. And I'll refresh the screen just in case it matters. But let's take a look at this demo lesson 2. So I'm going to click on it, and there it is. There's from the student side. The student sees the video support, and then here's the student's going to click the assignment. Now remember, here's all the directions that you typed as the teacher. And the student's going to click on that demo lesson link. And now here's the assignment. And remember, the student's only going to see one problem at a time. All right, so I'm going to go to a piece of paper because I forgot. We're going to upload an assignment, right? We're going to upload something. So it says a rectangular porch is 5 feet wide. It's 3 times as long as it is wide. Label the diagram. Okay, so I'm going to quickly, let's see. I'm going to quickly draw that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 4 feet wide. It's 3 times. There we go. And then draw and upload. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some sort of tool to take a video. Take a picture. So I'm going to take that picture. And there is my picture. And if that's what I want, it looks like I cut off the bottom. So that's no good for me. So I am going to try that again. There we go. Much better. And I'm going to just drag that onto the desktop. And then when I'm ready to upload, I'm going to click this upload button. Did you see it? this is the picture. It's a little different from the demo. So I'm going to zoom in, see if that matters. It's the picture here in the directions. It's a little different from the actual picture you're going to click on. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to upload the picture I just took. There it is. I'm going to click choose and hit save. Now I can always grab a square and resize it if I wish. And so now I, as the student, I'm going to click submit because I'm allowed to move on. All right, and then I'm going to click next. And then it says find the perimeter of the porch. So I can see that it's going to be 12 on the bottom, 12 on the top. So that's 24, and then 4 and 4. So 24 plus 8 gives me 32. Now I'm going to type in 30 so that you could see that when I click submit, oh, it says, sorry, try again. 30 is not correct. I don't know if you can see that down here. It says not correct. And then you also see that my hint went down. Now, if I go to 31, oh, it says it's still not correct, and my bar went down a little bit. This time I will indeed type in the correct answer, 32. And then it says, oh, correct. Now I'm able to move on to the next problem. And then you can see these logos or these icons up here. This one means it's turned in and waiting for the teacher. This means the student eventually got it right, just not on the first try. And a narrow rectangular banner is 5 inches wide. It's 6 times as long. Let's say draw your diagram and take a picture. So I labeled. So if you didn't, interesting. Are you noticing that this one, it's goofy. It's not allowing the student to label that previous problem. All right. That's interesting. Now they can't go back and edit. So we're kind of stuck. So teachers, welcome to the wonderful world of ASSISTments. I'm not even going to revise this video. I just want you to kind of recognize that sometimes ASSISTments is going to you're going to bump into some problems with ASSISTments. There you go. But the student is going to label the diagram. Say, yes, I labeled the diagram. Click submit. Click next. What is the perimeter? Oh, interesting. I think this is walking students through solving what it would look like. Ooh, so maybe I misread it. So, okay, so it's going to be 6 times as wide. So I'm drawing this. So it's 5 inches wide and 6 times as wide. So it's going to be 30 inches wide. So I'm like there's my drawing right there. So, oh, now I get it. So now it says find the perimeter and the area. So let's see, that's going to be 5 times 30 is 150 inches squared for the area. And let's see, 30 plus 30 plus 5 plus 5, 6, it gives me 70 inches for the perimeter. All right. So let's see. Do not include. What is the perimeter of the banner? The perimeter is 70, and I'm going to click submit, and woohoo! I got it correct. And then here, do not include the square inches. So what is the answer for the area? Let's get it wrong, and let's get it wrong forever. I'm getting it wrong. I'm getting it wrong. In fact, as the student, I want you to see what is going to happen when down here, you'll notice my bar has been falling because I got it wrong. I'm going to panic. And as the student, I'm going to click show answer. Say, oh, the answer is 150. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to hit submit. And then it finally allows me to move forward because I did indeed type in the right answer. Now, because this is the last question, it's just going to say finish. I'm going to click exit. All right. So now I, as the student, remember, we're on the student side here. I get to see how I did. I can see that my score was a 58%. I could see what the average class score is. I can see what I submitted each time. And I, as the student, can see that I asked for help on this one, which is the yellow. All right. So I'm getting some immediate feedback as the student. All right, now let's go to the teacher side. All right, so now what's really kind of cool is, well, let's make sure I'm saying everything that I'm supposed to be talking about, and the student gets the information. Okay, so actually I did everything I was supposed to do. So we are going to hide the student response page, and let's just move back into the slide deck. All right, so now the teacher can assess the entire class performance. So here's what's going to happen. First, the teacher, now on the teacher side, the teacher is going to click the assignment, making sure to log in with the teacher account, not any extra accounts or a student account. When the teacher does that, this teacher is going to see the entire class roster. And that class roster just has tons of information. Looking at the columns, it gives you the class score, common wrong answers, the student's answer. And then looking at the rows, it really helps you see, and you can sort all of these things. It can you get to see individual scores, you can sort them, you can see the amount of total time that the student spent on the assignment. It's just, and then these 3 dots allow you to also dig into like individual detailed student reports. So it's really cool. Just a quick reminder, the green is good, red is not so good. Either you got it on the first try with no hints, or you got it eventually right, but you needed a couple of tries. Here, it took you way too long before you finally got the right answer. When I say way too long, it took you way too many tries before you finally got the right answer. And here is you needed to see the answer in order to move forward. All right. So really quickly, we're going to walk you through what the teacher is going to see. I kind of already gave you a sense of what the student is going to see. So let's do that. Oops, that's the wrong button. There you go. So what is the teacher going to see? So I, as the teacher, don't need to see the assessments anymore. I'm going to go straight into my Google Classroom. I'm going to click on the assignment that has the data that I want to look at. And now this is kind of boring because it only has one student who has done the assignment, but I can see there's the assignment. I can see that the student has provided all the work. If I want to look at the student's details, I can click details, and now I'm looking at the specific everything that that student did. I can see that the student spent 2 minutes and 54 seconds on this problem. And by the way, while I'm here, I can say, yep, good job. And I can even provide some feedback. I can give some sort of score. Now, I don't have to worry about saving it. There is no save button. It automatically saves. And I can see how long the student is working on each aspect of each problem. It is really kind of cool. It highlights down here when the student needs to ask for the answer in order to move forward. So this is what it's going to look like from a detailed student by student response. I can click up here to next and see the next student, and I can just continue doing that. All right, so I'm going to go back, and now when I refresh, you can see that this student's score for this open-ended is now 100%. That student indeed got the 4 out of 4. All right, and let's take a look at an assignment that has some more student data in it. So here's an assignment that has a little bit more student data. You can sort that chart by score. You can sort the student by last name right here. You can sort them by name. There's just so much information. Now, as you're looking, and you don't see the problem, do you? You just see these links. All right. So this link, you click on it, and it lets you see the problem that you are now looking at right here. All right. When you have a class set of all of these open-ended questions, the easiest way to start scoring them is click essay scoring, and it pulls up everybody's essay or photo right there. And it allows you to immediately record their scores, provide any teacher feedback that you wish. Remember, there's no save button because it saves automatically. All right, let's make sure I've done everything, the triple dot to, as you're looking at student data, if you want a student for, let's say Erica, we want Erica to redo this assignment, all we have to do is click the 3 dots and hit delete progress. Erica cannot redo this assignment until I have deleted her progress and asked her to start again. Let's see, is there anything else? Triple dot, various sorting features, custom sort for students. What's really kind of cool is if I want to really highlight Kim and Dwayne. Well, no, Kim and Victor. So what I'll do is I will type Victor as number 1 and Kim, where was Kim? Down here. Kim as number 2. And then when I resort, it goes in numerical order. The fact that all of these were zeros really kind of made it problematic. But anyway, I just labeled it 1 and 2, and I sorted, and I put the highest in decreasing order. So now we can immediately compare and contrast Kim's and Victor's work right over here, that custom sort. And I think that's really it. Now from the student side, remember we already kind of looked at the student side. I will go back and let's go here. Now on the student side, the student can then click on it, and now the student can see my feedback that the teacher gave. It's right here. And that is it. Let's see, let's go back to our slide deck and let's turn that off and let's get back to present. And then lastly, we're going to analyze student work together. Some options that we can do. We can share data with the students. We can celebrate. We can take a look at the class roster and celebrate our successes. We can use the oopsies. We can use the feedback to identify common wrong answers and discuss those wrong answers. We can use them as a number talk, and we can review problems that seem to be giving our class difficulty and use them as small group conversations or as a number talk. We can use Google Classroom as a powerful communication tool. We can use the email to send emails to the whole class or individual students. We can also use the assignment feature to provide student level feedback per student. All right, and that wraps up this video. Just really a quick overview of, and I'm going to go back all the way to the beginning, and the 4 kind of features: how to create assignment, how students get immediate feedback, how you as the teacher can assess the entire class's performance, and lastly, lastly, how together you can use that feedback to really create an awesome class conversation. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know.